So who you got for me to complete your six-a-side?
Let's go through who we've got. So I've got my goalkeeper from Egypt. I've got Radabe. I've got Adel Tarat. I've got Kevin Prince Boateng. That means I've got two more selections. Who have you got? You've got Grobela. You've got
Papi Cisse. I've got JJ, Uncle JJ. I've got Asamoah Jan, and I've got Papa Bouba Diop. So I've got one more.
So you've got one more. I'm going to go for right. I'm going to go to the Ivory Coast, and the Ivory Coast is somewhere where we have had some of the best ever African players of all time. The likes of Didier Drogba, the likes of Yaya Toure. Kolo Toure is a fantastic centre back as well. Once upon a time as well, fantastic player. But this is the definition of streets we'll never forget. No one can argue with this player's ability. No one can argue that this player has made an impact on their life once upon a time as well. And the fact that he had only one stint in the Premier League, only had 3 games in in English football, pains me. But he did really well for the Ivory Coast with 37 appearances and 9 goals. You will know him. I think, to be honest, a lot of people know him from FIFA, but you'll know him from CSKA Moscow.
Wait, can I guess? Oh my God, he's done it! Seydou Doumbia.
Seydou Doumbia.
Oh my!
I went there.
That is an absolute mad thing. I used to sign Seydou all the time. Oh my God. Seydou Doumbia absolutely mashed it down with CSKA Moscow. That is insane. I used to choose. Oh my God. Round of applause, bro. That's what I want in a streets we'll never forget. I want someone to blow my mind when I mention their name and all the memories come flooding back. That is sensational. He was the definition of vibes. Like when you think, oh, I'm so happy about that.
Remember, he won the African Cup of Nations in 2015 as well, which was amazing to see and to show how well he really did for the team. Not always going to be the main man at Ivory Coast. You've got Didier Drogba there for Yaya Toure, for example. But realistically speaking, he was an absolute joy to watch once upon a time.
Now, listen, I don't know if I can beat that, but I guess it's up to you to decide whether this person makes it into my streets we'll never forget.
So I'm going to be quite strict with this one as well.
Yeah, please do. So when we talk about Premier League greats, there's a whole heap of people that come to mind. When we talk about Arsenal success in the late 90s, early 2000s, there's a whole heap of 3, 4, 5 players that instantly come to mind, worthy of statues. But when we're talking about a cult hero, someone that off the bench was creating impact, when coming on was worthy of starting, and was a pioneer for his country, when we're talking about what they achieved at the Olympics, when we're talking about what they achieved at the World Cup, when we're talking about being a leader of men, for me, it doesn't get much better as an Arsenal fan than the Niger boy, Kanu. Listen, Kanu is just like, for me, a sensational player. So Kanu, I love you, bro. You complete my team, and you're going to captain this team for sure.
And he actually won the Champions League with Ajax as well. So again, well on your Ajax as well. I think he scored 25 goals in 52 appearances, literally a goal every other game, which is crazy. And was at all 3 World Cups that he was for Nigeria as well. So unbelievable pick. Fantastic player to go for as well. But no, I have to look to try and finish my guy with a proper streets we'll never forget Niger boy as well. I haven't picked a Nigerian person yet, but I'm leaving them to last, best or last. I need to go for someone who, again, I'm kind of going to go down the PlayStation route as well, but I'm also going to go down the kind of way of what he's kind of done as a footballer as well. Inter Milan, we're going for someone who I just feel like he's been alive forever in football. It's just been there for a long period of time as well. We won the Serie A title with Inter Milan, 2 Italian Cups. I think you got to the semi-final, lost against AC Milan in 2003. Came through the youth team as well at Inter Milan, but then he moved to Newcastle. My favourite moment, you would have hated this.
Yeah, I hate him. No, don't talk about Birmingham. Don't do that.
It was for Birmingham City.
Oh my
Birmingham
God.
City, last minute, Wembley, 1-1 at Wembley. Wojciech Szczęsny and Laurent Koscielny have the biggest kerfuffle in a cup final. And who steps up to finish an open goal? Obafemi Martins, my friend.
Hey, listen, the guy that invented gymnastics in the Premier League,
Literally.
An absolute trailblazer. And honestly, bro, I'm not going to lie. I love Obafemi Martins. I love his celebration, lit up the Premier League. His time at Newcastle was sensational. And then to go to Wolfsburg, come back on loan out of obscurity and lead Birmingham City to their first trophy and God knows how long was sensational. And I can't lie, after that pick, I'm happy to concede that this Streets Will Never Forget edition is all yours, man. Seydou Doumbia and Obafemi Martins blew my mind. I love Kevin Prince Boateng and Adel Taarabt. It's a sensational, sensational team that you put together. And I think mine is competitive, but the feeling that you've given me about Streets Will Never Forget is just sensational.
I'm looking through it all as well, and it would just be the most chaotic team in the world. Radebe would be the only one holding it down, and Boateng and Taarabt would just be the two mavericks in there as well. Doumbia would have so much pace to go up and down, and Martins, you just don't know what type of Martins guy would be there as well. It's unreal. But yeah, honestly, Obafemi Martins, someone who did really well for Nigeria as well, was always part of their squad as well. 42 appearances, 18 goals for Nigeria, and finished off his career in China. Nicely done for Obafemi Martins. But no, what a fantastic player Obafemi Martins was as well. Can you just run through your team one more time for us, Mr. Khan?
So in goal, representing Zimbabwe and Rhodesia, Bruce Grobbelaar, Champions League winner, Liverpool legend, football icon. Then we've got Papi Cisse of Senegal, one of the biggest, best January transfer signings in Premier League history for me. JJ Okocha, the ultimate Streets Will Never Forget baller. Uncle JJ teaching us all how to ball on the streets. Asamoah Gyan, Baby Jet, for his 2010 World Cup, for what he did in the Premier League, and just for being a maverick. Then we've got Papa Bouba Diop, holding it down at the back, the tank, the machine, and of course, captained by the bona fide Nigerian legend, an Arsenal legend as well, and a Premier League icon, Kanu.
That's okay. Nicely done.